everyone. Wait for the aeroplane to go over very close to the airport here. I can actually drive myself on the back roads from Jackie's to the airport now. Oliver Tambo, they call it. OR Tambo Airport. Used to be Smuts. Yeah, I know the back roads there now, so yeah, day 2 back in Boksburg. Huge thunder storm last night. It's been oppressively hot and humid, not in the 40s, but just hot and sticky and sweaty. And then last night the rain broke, and it was some of the loudest thunder I can remember. It seemed like it was outside the window. I actually jumped at one stage. I knew it was going to crack. When it did, I jumped. The rain was torrential. Jackie took us out for dinner again last night to the steak place she likes, although she only ever has the chicken. Stinking hot in Johannesburg. Jackie's brought us out for another famous steak dinner. It's turned torrential out there.
Came in at 5:05. It was about 2 minutes past 5.
But Brian came along. I had, they call it a signature rump steak with the pepper sauce, the chips and onion rings. Fantastic food. But while we were there, I spied a tattoo shop. Some are saying, called Outcast. So put that in my head, made a mental note. So yesterday, I'll get back to the tattoo shop in a moment. I had the car, and I found someone who will treat the shield, the African shield that I have, and can fumigate it and send it to Australia with the proper documentation. She said Australia has no restrictions on cowhide coming in. It may run into some hiccups when it gets to customs in Australia, but I can deal with it there. Now to get the other one back from Dundee, they're dragging their feet down there. I've made a real mess of these shields, but I've got over a week, so hopefully, they say they're going to send it. We'll get a price on it anyway to send it up here, so I hope it works out. But yeah, the other one is, but the woman's holding it. She's just waiting for the second shield to arrive to send them all together. So I did that in the car while I had it. Brought the car back, this is yesterday. Took them around the corner to my friends. So this is the 3rd time I've used their particular car wash. So African people take to you very quickly while I was having petrol put in. One of the Africans yelled out, John Cherry is here. So he's a fuel attendant. He come over. He's wanted to know where I've been, what did I see, what did I like. All the while they're cleaning my windscreen, checking my tyres. And then there were the girls over in the vacuum section. They all waved. So I had the car washed. They do the tyres. They put the blackener on the tyres. They vacuum. They make it smell nice. Huge effort to wash these cars, but so no one drives around with that dirty car. Not many do anyway, not if you can afford to clean it. So then Brian came over about 4:30. We took the car back to Oliver Tambo Airport. Brian followed me while I took the back roads. And then, yeah, he brought me back here. Jackie has got herself a huge 65-inch LG TV. She says it's too big. I said, girl, it's never too big when it comes to a flat screen TV. She likes the soccer. So we got back from our steak dinner. Yeah, the torrential rain had stopped by the time we left the restaurant. But yeah, then this thunderstorm came through, rolled on till about midnight, and as I said, you could see the flashes of lightning. Jackie says this is a thunderstorm belt. I wonder if this is the time. It would be actually. This would have been the time of year when Mum and I used to lay on that bed. and watch the rainstorms come in. So yeah, the car's gone back. Should be all right. Should get all the money back. The deposit they hold. There was nothing wrong with it. It's a fantastic car, Volkswagen T-Cross. I wish I could afford one. So I took that back. Then this morning, that's right. So I go to use this morning. This is my modem. I don't know if Australia does it this way. I'm sure they don't. So when I went to go to use the modem, it comes up on the computer, says you run out of data. Now I bought data on Sunday when I got to town. I'd run out then too. I bought 15 gig of data, and I've used 15 gig in 2 days, less than 2 days. Well, the videos I upload can be 3 gig at a time, and then I'm surfing the net. Anyway, this has got a SIM card in it. So depending who you ask and how you ask. So I started getting on their website. I thought, surely people don't run to the shop every time they need more data. Because I'm a visitor and I'm only here for a couple of months, I couldn't get a plan. So I keep buying top-ups, So I thought, surely you can do it online. So I started trying to do it online with my credit card, and on the phone and on the computer. It kept saying, oops, there's a technical issue, try later. I tried ringing the number for with Vodacom, I think, in South Africa. They told me you could barely understand them. Second time I rang, the woman said, the system's down, you have to try later. I don't know how true that was. But anyway, I ended up going. Brian picked me up about 9. Now he has a job where he drives all day. It's like a courier. He's got to drop papers off at customs, pick them up, and sometimes he's got to wait for a few hours for these forms to be. All they have to do is stamp them. So for instance, the company he works for, the woman he works for, he goes and picks up export papers from a company that might be shipping. For instance, I noticed one of the shipping forms today was soft drinks up to Zambia. They go to Botswana, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Malawi, maybe Tanzania. They go all that direction up through Africa, these trucks. And when they get to the customs border posts, they've got to present the forms to the customs, and in their trucks will have to match what's on the export forms, I suppose. And all these customs officials down here in Joburg have to do is stamp it, literally stamp these forms. But getting them to do that, sometimes the ink on the stamp is dry, sometimes they don't roll it on properly. Brian's got to take them back. But it involves a lot of waiting around. So he dropped me off at the shopping centre while he went and picked up these forms from his boss. And so I went and I looked around. I ended up buying this. All of these little shopping centres they're all run by Pakistanis. They're like tech shops, They sell phone covers. They don't sell phones, but they sell phone covers, gizmos, speakers, Bluetooth speakers, computer stuff. Anyway, I saw this. This is a projector for my laptop. It was reasonably priced. And then while I was negotiating this, I said to him, you able to help me with getting data on here? So the shop could only sell 15 gig at a time, but I know there's another way you can get 100 gig, 50 gig daytime, 50 gig nighttime. So he says, sure. So what you do is you take the SIM card out of here, you put it in your mobile phone, you then dial some numbers, and it tells you how much you've got or what plans are available. You then go and buy, they call it airtime. That's time you could speak on a phone, I think. And you can, once you've got the docket for having bought the airtime, you come back and you type the code into your phone, and you can convert airtime to data. That's how you can end up with 100 gig on this. I don't know. I think it works. I haven't tried it yet. I've got one of Jackie's modems. But I'm not going to use up her data when I start doing videos. This video, for instance. Anyway, then I had an interesting... I was waiting for Brian. I was just sitting outside. And African woman sat next to me. She said hello. I said hello. She was checking her phone, and for a good few minutes I was just sort of doing the same, really, checking my phone or thinking about stuff, watching a shopping centre in South Africa and all the activity that goes on. These men with Visi vests, they don't work in the car park. They're just trying to make a living, so they guide you out of your parking spot. If they see a parking spot, they'll guide you in. You don't really need them, but I always give them money. People give them money. Seems to be the best they can do as a livelihood. So I was just watching that, and I thought I'll talk to this woman. So I said, "How is your life? Are you happy? Are you content with your life?" She smiled, and her English was excellent. And she said, "Am I content with life?" Maybe. I said, "Are you getting ahead? Are you floating, or are you sinking?" She said, "No, I think we're sort of floating." And as I said, very well spoken. She, like all Africans, she looked about 23. She was 44. I asked her about the Europeans. I said, "The white people." I said, "I suppose you wouldn't have known apartheid." She says, "Oh, you're getting my age wrong. I'm 44." She said, I said, "I find it confronting seeing white people begging." And she said, "Oh, yeah, I know." She said, "It's particularly bad where I am in Brakpan." She lives in Brakpan, this woman. She used to work for South African Airlines. She was a sales support person until COVID hit. I said to her, support is a word I don't hear much in South Africa. If something goes wrong in South Africa, you're basically on your own. I've had very little support with anything, but I haven't needed it because things have gone really good for me. So she laughed and we chuckled. I asked her about travel. I said, "Did you get to travel anywhere? Do you have a passport?" Not many of them do. She said, "Oh yeah, I did a bit of travel." I said, "Where did you go?" She said, "I went shopping in China." Could have knocked me over. I said, "China? Who goes shopping in China?" No, she says, "I bought my wedding dress there." It's curious how their exchange rate might work with China. 13-hour flight, she said. There you go. Apparently that's a thing. Africans travel to China. Who'd have thunk? She married to a policeman. I told her my mum was buried in Brakpan. Didn't go into how I know Brakpan at all. She just said, "Are you here for family, friends?" She did ask me, "Do you have any children? Is your husband with you?" And I really enjoyed a few moments talking to this woman. Very positive, very bubbly, bright. We talked about going to the gym. We talked about the diets of South Africans. She's trying to eat more vegetables and fruit. She agrees that South Africa are meat eaters. They eat too much meat. So Brian got back. I wished her all the best. God bless you, I said. And I went round with Brian, and he wasn't getting any very far at all with this job today. He basically, through no fault of his own, he got nothing done. It was the customs people were faffing him around, so I fell asleep in the car actually while we were waiting for the forms to be picked up again. And we had a boerewors for lunch, boerewors roll. He remembers a lot more people than I do, but we just hung out, chit-chat, looked at a few more shops. So anyway, when it was time, when he'd finished, I said, "Do you reckon we could take me to Outcast Tattoos?" And he said, "Do you remember where it is?" I said, "Yeah, it's near that steak place." So went there, and there's your usual trendies, they're all white people. But beautifully tattooed, the beautiful people. And the girl that came and spoke to me, young girl, fantastic body, fantastic tattoos. She explained to one of the artists, this lady wants something feminine, something, pretty. I had an idea what I wanted. One of the ideas, I didn't go with it, but I don't know if any of you have seen Danny from American Pickers. She's got like a V comes there on the neck, and it's like leopard print, like between a V neck. That was an idea I had, but I think that'd be a bit difficult to put into practice. And when I told them about the other idea, they said I think that would be more appropriate. So I'm not going to spoil it, but yeah, I'm booked in Thursday for a session. Now, what I want, I think, would be about 1,000 Australian dollars. Over here, it's going to work out to about 300. So that's why I'm having a tattoo while I'm here. I've been thinking about it for years to get one, and I've been thinking about this particular tattoo for many years. So this will be another reminder of my time in South Africa. And Brian, when he was with me, he asked about a clan symbol for his shoulder, which was quite nice actually, so I might throw that in as a gift to him for helping me out again. So that's the news with the tattoo. Just had a bit of cold meat salad tonight with a bit of cheese as well. Lots of salad stuff, tomato and cucumber and mushrooms, because I'm not getting enough vegetables and fresh stuff into my diet. So Jackie, I don't know what she was doing, but she's been busy wrapping up these presents for disabled kids through her church. So there's a whole bunch of Christmas presents wrapped up down there that she's contributing to a children's orphanage, the disadvantaged children. So I'm not sure what she was doing for food, but I was intent on feeding myself. I don't need to, Jackie. So yeah, tomorrow, Wednesday, try and hurry this shield business along. It's not dragging me down, but it is preying on my mind. I just wish we could get it bloody organised so it's done and then I can move on. But it's dragging on a bit longer. Yeah, Brian will pick me up about 9 tomorrow again, just like today. Want to go to, there's a flea market. Huge big shopping centres over there in Boksburg. That's where you see a lot of Europeans, a lot of white people are hanging around this area of Johannesburg. So you want to get to that flea market, get a couple of things to take home. Now don't forget, I've put up, and I've had a couple of responses, so I put up Answer Me That. So any questions that any of you might have about South Africa, the cost of living, getting here, travelling around, hiring a car, that sort of general stuff, the food. What about the videos I've done, the Boer War battles, or the Zulu fields, KwaZulu, any other battles you might be interested, you want to find a bit out, or any of the videos I've made, if you want to know a bit more about them. General stuff about me. I'm not going to go too deep into who I am or how I came to be, but any general stuff you want to know about me, I'm happy to talk about myself. So don't be shy. As I said, I've got a couple of questions already. We'll give it to the weekend, and then I'll do a special Q&A, and I'll read out your question and give you an answer. Got one more video to do with Paterberg. I hope you like the Marglisfontein. Now I'm going to say it properly, Marglisfontein. I wasn't saying it properly on the videos. I hope you enjoyed them. I wish the Osmo had worked in that dark area where they got the recreation, the sound of the pipes and the British coming on. It was just too dark, but it's really good if you ever get a chance to go there live. Really good, a lot of fun, and moving. So I think that's about it. I'll give you a video again, every other day, probably, maybe even every day if something is worthy of telling you about. But yeah, things are going good. I'm not itching and jumping around wanting to get out of here. You might notice that Jackie's given me Jackie let me set the room up as I wanted. She's got her aunt coming. Her aunt has been here every year for the last over 20 years. She's elderly too. She's in her mid-80s. She comes out to South Africa from Scotland for the weather. She loves hot weather, and this time of year in Scotland is unbearable for her. So she comes out and she basically sits and sunbakes on Jackie's balcony. So the house is going to start getting a little crowded in the next few days. And I've told Jackie, look, if it gets too crowded and you want the room, just tell me and I'll go back to that. I think it was the Astoria or something where they had the little puppy when I first got to Boxburn. I'll go back there. It's not a problem. So she said, see how we go. But yeah, at the moment I've got the room set up as I like it. I was allowed to. I've got a table here to work on with my computer. There's another plane. So all right, I think that'll do us for the moment. I've prattled on. Oh, Pakistani sold me a new phone cover as well. All right, so take care, everyone, and yeah, you can send those questions in if you like, and we'll talk soon. Okay, bye.